Thank you, Craig. Be more than human. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph Carroll. I write under the pen name J.R. Carroll, and today we are here to pay homage and a tribute to Craig Alanson and Expeditionary Force. If you are, a repeat viewer, if you are a subscriber of mine, you will know that anytime we do a list, either characters or the book series as a whole, always makes the lists. If you, if you hear banging in the background, I normally don't do videos this time of the day. That will be my son jumping around. So ignore that if they come up. But the book was released today, and I woke up awfully early to get it started and plugged my headphones in at work and listened to R.C. Bray narrate the final book in the Expeditionary Force saga, Failure Mode. Just the greatest sci-fi series of all time. Probably my favorite sci-fi media of all time. I'm going to keep this non-spoiler and just kind of give you my feelings. As always, Craig leans heavily on his dialogue, which he does better than anybody. It'd be very hard for me to say somebody else runs better dialogue, because I feel like more than half the book is dialogue and just chit chatting back and forth. I will say that this book didn't feel as all consuming with the mission and the trickery. Of course, there is that. I mean, it's Expeditionary Force. Of course, it's going to be that. But I felt like a lot of this is Craig really knowing that the end is nigh, and he's trying to make sure that everybody has their relationships kind of flushed. And and this book, I want to say this wasn't the longest book. Still sizable book, but as we were going through it, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, man, how far along are we? Because it didn't feel, to me, it didn't feel like an ending book. They keep talking about the stakes, and as everybody knows, spoilers up to this point. So if you're watching this, I'm sure you have been through them all. The elders were waking up. The elders are coming is how the last one ended, and so we do have this, this epic thing about what are we gonna do if the elders wake up, if the elders come back. There's been this whole thing about other elder AIs opening and trying to protect the earth. But for most of this book, it kind of just feels like your normal Expeditionary Force. Oh, it's always the end of humanity, right? But it kind of felt that same way up until, I don't know, maybe the last 25% of the book, and then it was, things were revealed. Major plans are being made, and it, turned into this, like I like to say on certain books, like, the last 25% was all gas, no brakes. And R.C. Bray, just, if he's not the best audiobook narrator, he is definitely, the top 2, top 3. He put in the performance of his life. I mean, the performance by R.C. Bray is the best he's ever done. I mean, he's just, and so even though there's always funny stuff in these books, you did get that seriousness, that you know, the gravitas of the situation, and you felt it coming through R.C. Bray. Even when he's being Skippy, you actually felt that. And there were more than a handful of times where Craig comes for your soul, and you're sitting there, thinking, how is Joe and how are the merry band of pirates going to get out of this? And the whole series has been like that, but it was so heavy in this book because we knew this is the last one. Everything is on the table here. It ends now. What is he gonna do? You have this feeling of it can end. Everyone can die. So you're fearful for your favorite characters, especially your favorite side characters. When series end, it's like, especially the side characters, they're all up for grabs. And it just it was a wild ride in those last few hours of the book. And I mean, you had your highs and your lows throughout this whole thing. All I'm gonna say is thank you, Craig, for a wonderful series. You did it right. I don't think that anyone is going to be in an uproar with how this ends, and we're always going to be, looking back, and rereads will commence. So thank you, Craig. Thank you, R.C. Bray, for a wonderful ride, and can't wait to see what the future holds. And we'll catch you in the next one.